Aloha! So glad you made it onto your mat again for this gentle Hatha yoga class. Just make sure you have your belt or a strap with you, and let's get comfortable on our mats. I hope you enjoy this class. Grab your water. One more thing, look at who I have with me. And one more thing, these flowers I collected today for you. I'll see you on your mat. Welcome to Aloha Nathie Yoga. I'm so glad you made it on your mat today. So we'll just come into a comfortable seat. Mahalo for joining me in your practice and finding yourself in a space of safety and a place where you invite yourself in to your center. Allow your hands to lay on your thighs, closing your eyes gently, feeling the sit bones deeply rooted down into your mat. And this practice is really about connecting breath with body, mind, spirit, and allowing you to fully reconnect, recharge, and center yourself. So take a really deep breath here. And just gently let it out the nose or the mouth. Throughout the practice, maybe you can use your ujjayi breathing to create an oceanic sound with your breath, making your breath audible. We'll start by taking our belts, making sure the belt is nearby the mat, and slowly lay down on your spine. Getting comfortable, draw the knees into the chest, interlacing your fingers around your shins and giving yourself a loving hug here. Reminding yourself to be gentle with you in this practice. You can flex and point the toes and just tug the knees in, and then hold the right knee in and send the left leg out. And just deep inhale, and then as you exhale, maybe draw the right knee in just a little closer to your chest. And keep connecting with your breath here. Then when you're ready, open the right arm into a T and send the right knee over to the left side into a supine twist with your left hand. Deeply breathe into the right side of your ribs, and then allow the twist to happen as you exhale, relaxing the entire weight of your body down into the mat. Relaxing the right shoulder towards the earth. Just breathe here. And then slowly come back to center, tugging that knee in just a little bit more. And then draw it outwards towards the right armpit with your right hand, keeping your left hand down on your left hip. And you can rotate that right ankle in both directions. And then we'll do half happy baby. So grab the outer edge of the right foot with your right hand and just draw that thigh down towards the mat. Keeping the left leg lengthened on the mat. Keep the right toes flexed towards your right knee, your arm being inside of your thigh. And then just release that foot down, bring both soles of the feet on the mat, and then draw the left knee in as you extend the right leg out. And just Doing the other side now. Then you can rotate that left ankle in both directions. And when you're ready, draw that left knee across your body with the right hand into your twist. Deeply breathe into that left side, expanding the intercostal muscles. Relaxing the jaw, the neck, the head. And whatever thoughts may be coming into your mind, it's okay that they exist. Just allow them to be there, and without any hold on them, allow them to just pass by. Draw your knee back to center, tug it in just a little bit more, and then draw that right knee out towards the right arm, the left knee out towards the left armpit with your left hand. Coax your right hip down with your right hand to keep it glued onto the mat. Breathe deeply into the lower belly. And then bring the left arm inside of the left thigh, grab hold of the shin or the outer edge of the left foot and come into half happy baby. And keep those left toes flexed towards your left knee. Draw the left thigh down closer to the earth. And then bring that knee back to center, tug it in once more, and then bring both knees to the chest, tugging them in a hug. And then open the knees wide here, and then we'll come into full happy baby. So grab the outer edges of the feet and bend the knees towards the mat. Allow the tailbone to press down towards the mat. Breathe deeply into the lower belly. You can swing yourself side to side in your happy baby. And then bring the feet together. Extend them out on the mat. And then bring your arms overhead and give yourself a really big stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Point the toes, point the fingers. Nice big lengthening of the spine. And release. And then walk your legs towards the right, and then walk your arms towards the right for Bananasana. So crescent moon. Supine crescent moon. Option to hook that left ankle on top of the right to deepen that stretch. Take a deep breath here into that left side, feeling that beautiful crescent you're creating. And then draw both arms and legs back to center. Reach And then walk the legs to the left and the arms to the left. Trying to keep both hips glued to the mat. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Breathe deeply, unhook that right ankle, draw everything back to center, and then plant the soles of the feet on the mat. And grab your belt, and we'll come into hamstring stretches, IT band stretches. So wrap the belt around the ball of the right foot, and then draw the sole of the foot towards the sky as you lengthen the left leg out. The right knee can be bent as you draw the leg in, but don't force anything. Just allow it to naturally come in towards your body as you notice the sensation in the back of the right thigh. Relaxing the shoulders, the head, the chest. Keep the toes flexed towards you and breathe deeply into that hamstring stretch here. Maybe draw the leg in just a little bit more with every exhalation. And then hold on to the belt with your left hand and draw the leg across the body with your right arm out into a T. Come into IT band stretching. You can take your right thumb and place it in the hip crease of your right hip and press the hip down and away from you. It enhances the stretching. And then draw the thigh back up to center. Open your arm, your left arm out, and then draw the leg out towards the right, holding the belt with your right hand. I personally keep my left hand down on my left hip to keep my left hip glued to the mat. You always have the option here to have blocks or bolsters underneath your legs to support yourself. Breathe into the inner thigh here, and that left hip glued to the mat. And then draw the leg back to center, bring it in just a little bit closer to your chest, and then release. And then draw the left sole of the foot towards the sky, wrap the belt around the ball of the foot, and come into that hamstring stretch on that side. Just draw it in a little closer with every exhalation. Relax the shoulders on your mat. Relaxing your jaw. And then when you're ready, grab the belt with your right hand and draw the left leg across your body. You can use the left thumb into the left hip crease to press your hip down and away from you, and keep those left toes flexed towards your knee. It stretches the outer left hip, the IT band, the outer thigh. These poses are really great for anybody who does a lot of running or biking or anything that works the thighs out. We often don't think about the outer thigh, so just breathe into that area in your body. And then draw the leg back up and grab the belt with your left hand and send the leg opened out into a T. Use your breath here to allow the inner thigh to open up, lengthening the tissues, creating a sense of deep opening in the hip joint. And then drawing the leg up, draw it close to you, and then release the belt, drawing your foot back to your mat. And then the feet hip width apart or mat width apart, just sway your knees side to side in a windshield wiping movement. Inhale to center, exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale, drop the knees to the left. And just be very gentle with yourself here, allowing the loosening of the lower back and the hips. And then draw yourself up onto the sit bones. Turn your legs to the one side and come on into a tabletop. We'll come into Balasana, child's pose. Open your knees mat width apart, big toes to touch. We'll extend the arms forward here, encouraging the breath in the torso, in the lower belly. And as you exhale, try and relax your heart down towards the mat. Be here for a few breaths and come into child's pose with a twist. And allow the compression here of the belly towards the thighs as you inhale. And then thread that left arm underneath the right armpit. Option here to keep the right arm down on the mat or bind it behind you, holding onto your left thigh. Deeply breathe into the spine, feeling that deeper spinal compression. And twist a little deeper by allowing the belly to expose itself more towards the side and the sky. You can relax your head here on a blanket if that's needed. And allow your hips to sink deeper into the heels. And then release that top arm back down on the mat. And then take an inhale, reach that left arm overhead as you unweave and bring it back down on the mat. Inhale the right arm towards the sky. Exhale, weaving it underneath the left armpit here. Option to bind the left arm behind your lower back. Take a deep inhale, feeling the compression of the spine here. And then exhaling it out. This is such a foundational pose in yoga. It allows us to deepen our breath, contributing to the reduction in back pain, relaxation of the mind, and a sense of peace and quietness in our bodies. And then release that arm if you were in a bind. And then unweave that right arm, send it overhead and back down on your mat. Then come back to a tabletop and just sway your hips gently side to side here. And then we'll come into some cat-cows. So with your breath, inhale, look up, tailbone up, drop the belly button down. Exhale, protract the shoulders, round your back. And keep moving with your breath here in this cat-cow motion. This gentle flow between the two poses warms the body and brings flexibility to the spine here. It stimulates and strengthens the abdominal organs, and it also opens the chest, encouraging the breath to become slow and deep within your body. So use your breath and your cat-cow here to open up the spine. Come back to a neutral spine, tuck the toes, send the hips back into the heels with your toes tucked. Breathe deeply into the toes. Inhale, send yourself forward and back again. Just swinging yourself forward and back here. Turn your fingers towards your knees with the palms facing down on the mat. And then send your hips back into the heels. Deep inhale into the inside of the wrists. Feeling the wrists stretching here. The forearms stretching. And then turn the top of the right hand down towards the mat, fingers still pointing towards your knees. And just move organically here, feeling the stretch in the outer right wrist. And then switch sides. So turn the left palm up towards the sky, fingers pointing towards your knees, and then sway forward and back onto your toes. And then release, sending your hips all the way back onto the heels. Sending your sternum up towards the sky. And deeply breathing here in your toe stretch. Just roll your shoulders back and down. And then bring your arms forward parallel to the mat and rotate your wrists. Big circles with the wrists. And then switch directions with your circles. And just keep rotating the shoulders back and down. Very slowly. And then change the direction of your circles with your shoulders. Inhale, arms overhead, reach up, interlace the fingers, flip the palms, and reach the sides of the body. Lengthening the spine, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Exhale, the arms behind your lower back, interlace the fingers. And release the arms down on the mat. Untuck the toes, tap, tap, tap the feet down on the mat. Tap, 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 tap. And then send the hips back into the heels once more for a normal child's pose. Arms alongside the body, palms facing up, forehead onto a block or the mat. And then maybe gently just sway side to side. Deep inhale, compressing the belly into the thighs. Feeling the massage of the organs, the release of the lower back. And then press yourself up, bring your hands behind your hips, and then inhale, press the top of the hips up towards the sky, and then sit back down on the heels. Walk yourself forward and then come back into a child's pose. We'll flow like this a few more times. Inhale, sit back up on the heels, hands behind hips. Lift the hips off of the heels, pointing them towards the sky, opening the front line of the body and the quads. And then exhale, sit back down and send the chest forward into a child's pose. Inhale, back up, hands behind hips. This time, lift the shins off of the mat, stretching the top of the feet. Reach the sternum up towards the sky, opening the shoulders, the chest. Breathe deeply here. You always have the option to slip a block underneath the shins to support you. And walk your hands forward into tabletop here. Tuck the toes and then send your hips back into down dog for your first down dog. Pedal the feet with your inhale. Lengthening the back of the thighs, pressing out of the mat with all 10 fingers. Drawing the chest closer to the thighs and drawing the belly button into the spine. Make sure your feet are hip width apart here. You can keep a generous bend in the knees and then unbend them slowly. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, heels down. And allow the down dog to lift the hips up and away from you. Inhale the right leg up behind you into three-legged dog. Reach it high, toes pointing down towards the mat. Bend the knee, stack the hips. And start drawing big circles with your top knee towards the sky here. And then switch directions with your circles, trying to keep the chest pointing down towards the mat. Then inhale that leg back behind you. Exhale, draw the right knee forward into a pigeon pose. Hands on your mat or blocks. Inhale, lift the chest up, pressing out of the mat, lengthening the spine. And then exhale, you have the option here to bend the back knee, grab the left foot with your right hand. Feeling a deeper stretch into the left quad, the left hip flexor, and allowing the neck to stay relaxed. Release the back knee, walk your forearms forward, and rest your forehead onto stacked fists. Breathe deeply here. This allows deeper flexibility of the hip flexors and lower back muscles while also supporting the digestive system. Then walk yourself back up. Send the leg back into a down dog. Pedal your feet with your breath. Inhale the left leg behind you into three-legged dog. Reach it high. Bend the top knee. Stack the hips. And then do big circles with the top knee. And then switch the directions with the circles. And then draw the knee in towards the left elbow and slide it down for your pigeon. With each exhalation, try to release the tension in your hip. This can be really intense on the outer hip. Keep your left foot close to your left hip to start with. The more your shin is parallel with the front of the mat, the more intense the hip opener will be. And just maybe option here to bend the back knee and grab that foot with the left arm. Opening up that left shoulder, giving room to breathe in your chest. And then release the back knee, release the hands. Inhale, lift. Exhale, walk yourself forward and fold in your pigeon, forehead on stacked fists. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat, you can make the fists stacked with your hands or on a block. You can also stay up higher, resting on your elbows or hands. Just remember not to slump in the shoulders. Keep the base of the neck soft. This also targets the psoas muscle and the hip flexors. It really does increase hip mobility. And if this is not accessible to you, you can always do figure 4 variation. And walk yourself back up, send that left leg back into down dog. And just breathe in. Walk your hands back towards your feet and come into ragdoll. Let the upper body hang over the legs, the back of the neck long. Weight is evenly distributed in all 4 corners of both feet. The feet are hip distance. Sway side to side here with the micro bend in your knees. Allow the weight of your body to be pulled down by gravity, creating space in between each spinal disc. Breathe into the hamstrings. Belly to thigh. Head to knees. Just relax your upper body. Your hands on your mat. Open your feet about hip width apart, toes out at a 45-degree angle, and sit in your malasana, or your deep squat Garland pose. Bring your hands to heart. Draw the tailbone down towards the mat as you lengthen the spine and send the chest up towards the sky. Soft gaze to the front. This massages the abdominal organs, improves digestion, tones the calves and hips, and strengthens ankles, and improves your balance. Send your weight back into the heels and outer edges of your feet. Bring the left hand down in front of your left foot and send the right arm overhead for a twist here. This is a variation of the Garland pose. And then exhale, draw hands to heart again. Deep inhale. And exhale. Bring the right hand down in front of the right foot. Send the left arm overhead. Look up or sideways here, stretching the chest. Exhale, hands to heart. Pressing the thighs into the arms and the arms into the thighs. Option here to come on to the toes. Prop yourself up onto the ball of the feet on your toes, balancing in your malasana here. And then slowly send the arms out and sit down on your sit bones. Come into Dandasana. You can grab your belt here and wrap the belt around the ball of the feet if needed. Inhaling, lengthening the spine, feeling the sit bones rooted down into your mat, and exhaling out with a lengthened spine. Or inhale, arms overhead, and then exhale, start folding, hinging at the hips, but keeping a lengthened spine. So feel deeply rooted into the sit bones first. You can grab onto the feet or shins. And breathe into this pose. And just explore here. Allow yourself to fully release. Inhale, arms overhead, reach up into Dandasana. Exhale, fold again. Do this a few times, every time feeling a deeper lengthening of the spine. This really stimulates the kidneys. It compresses the stomach organs, which helps strengthen the organ digestion. If your hamstrings are still tight, you can bend your knees and place a bolster underneath your knees or rolled up towels. Allow the neck to fully release here and rounding your back. And then walk yourself back up slowly. Bend the right knee. Bring the right foot outside of the left thigh. Send that right hand behind your lower back and twist to the right as you bring your left arm on the outside of the right thigh. Inhale. Lift the sternum up towards the sky, and then exhale, twist a little deeper. Seated twists are really great for spinal flexibility and massaging the organs. Come back to center, hands alongside your hips, and then bring the left foot across the right leg onto the outside, the left hand behind the lower back, and wrap your right arm around your left thigh. Twist to the left, drawing the belly button into the spine. Keep both hip bones rooted down into the mat here. This also helps tone the belly and can relieve lower back pain. Breathe into the lower back and in deeply into your belly. And let's come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together and start folding forward in your butterfly. You can have your elbows laying on your thighs, encouraging the thighs to open, or you can keep holding on to the outer edges of your feet or walk your hands forward as you fold. Just allow yourself to completely relax in your butterfly here. Breathe deeply into the inner thighs and the deep pelvic floor. Release all of the tension in your neck. Gently walk yourself up, close the knees, and then give yourself a seated hug here. And when you're ready, start laying yourself down on your back for your final shavasana. Bring your arms overhead. Give yourself a final stretch here, pointing the toes. And then you can allow your legs to dangle in the sky with your arms into waterfall, rotating the ankles and the wrists. Rotate them in both directions here, breathing deeply, feeling that nice kind of airy feeling of letting your legs and arms dangle up in the sky. Blood rushing down towards the chest and the core. Come into your stillness. Then bend the knees, draw them into the chest, and then release your legs out into your final shavasana. You can have your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your lower belly. Take deep breaths in and let everything go. Mahalo nui loa for joining me in your practice. Namaste.